Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Alan Wake 2, where we just made our way through the Ocean View Hotel, where the devil has been, and where we also met with Thomas Zane the Diver, who is also the image of Alan Wake, or is Alan Wake the image of Thomas Zane? Either way, Thomas Zane does not have the voice of Alan Wake, that being Matthew Peretta, which makes me think that the person voicing Thomas Zane is the actor who does the face of Alan Wake, finally allowed to actually speak in his acting role, which I give wholesome approval to. Like it's interesting, like how many different versions of characters are played by different by the same actor.
Parliament Tower was here again. Zane said the manuscript of return was the key to escaping. I had to get it before Scratch did.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what the hell that was.
Had I chosen to pursue the cult, or had they chosen me for some unknowable purpose? To be a demon, to sort the clues based on my interpretation, to change that which I observed. It was all a play. Shadows on the wall of the cave, an echo of the true events that happened somewhere else. Was I there to watch the shadows, or was I a shadow too? In a performance set up for someone else.
All of the world's a stage, yada yada yada. Is this a new save room? Don't forget to use the janitor's bucket in the janitor's break room to alternate between characters. Alan and Saga Story can be played in whatever order you choose. I'm choosing to just play Alan's story and then play Saga's story. Look at him in a suit, in a... Look how great Ati looks. Alright, but we're heading back to the Parliament. It's right there. Nothing can go wrong. Everything will be A-okay. We'll solve the mystery post-haste. But first we need to get back to our study, because in our study... See, this is why I'm choosing to play Alan's story all at once. Because then I don't have to find myself wondering... Okay, let's see. Based on my recording schedule, I recorded a little bit of Alan, then a little bit of Saga, then played a different game. Then a week later, I'm back to playing Alan again. What was Alan up to? So it's definitely a lot me. But like, oh, are we gonna be shall we face forward this time so we can get the photographs? What does that mean? When Alan shows up, he's the one being photographed. Does Alan not realize he is Mr. Scratch? Is that ultimately, like, is there a little bit of Persona 4? Persona, like the Persona series. But Persona 4 is the one I'm most familiar with, so that's the one I'm going to reference. In which, like, characters are confronting their true selves, their evil selves. But ultimately, their true self was always a part of them. And the only way they are able to defeat their true self is by accepting who these negative sides for who they are. Like, in Alan Wake 1, it's it's shown that Alan was not necessarily the greatest of husbands. You put the computer on the kitchen countertop. Hey, Alice. Everything good? Oh, by the way, this is from Barry Wheeler. Wait, I should go the other way. Barry Wheeler to Alice Wake. Hey, Alice, I'm more a fish... Oh my gosh. So much blur going on. The motion blur really affects the text. I'm more a fish out of water in Hollywood than I ever was in the Pacific Northwest wilderness. These yuppies with their glow-in-the-dark teeth couldn't be more fake if they had 6 fingers. And everything is so fucking great all the time, even when it's in fact the opposite. More than once I've thrown up in my mouth during meetings with these movie exec jerks. But I gotta be here to look after Al's legacy. Everyone wants to gobble up the film rights for the Casey books, and they have moronic ideas what to do with them. It's my duty to herd this horde of tan zombies into the general direction of something resembling good taste. I'm painfully aware how deeply Al would have hated adaptations if they didn't do justice to his vision. He was a master of hating things deeply. Oof. For good reasons. I mean, that's why we loved him so much, right? Anyway, gotta hop on another video call now to talk about casting. Your pal, Barry. Joined a cult, Barry says. You're gonna think I've been replaced by an evil double, but I've joined a cult and I love it. Joking about it being a cult, kind of blessed wellness retreat. Working with... Oh my gosh. Do I need to turn off the motion blur just so I could look at text? Working with Al or the Andersons was tough sometimes, but these movie biz types are insane. My stress levels were through the roof, but then I was tipped off about the retreat. The best decision I ever made. I have never felt this good and, well, healthy. The guy who runs this place, Chester, is a goddamn miracle worker. Not a wacko in any way. I know you think I'm full of shit, but I have lost a ton of weight. You wouldn't recognize me. Chester says I'm lucky to have ended up here. That's something would have happened to me if I'd stayed in New York. I believe him. I wasn't feeling great after everything that happened, especially after those FBC creepos wanted to chat with me. Enough to turn anyone into a conspiracy nut. I hope you are good over there. Come visit anytime. West Coast is not as bad as I made it sound in my earlier mails. Your pal, Barry. Also, the Federal Bureau of Control would have, of course, interviewed Barry after the events. Hey Alice, checking in because I haven't heard from you. Everything good back there? I've been trapped in non-stop meetings with no breaks. Open kimono, I've considered peeing in a mug, and lunches be damned. How these people ever get a movie made when all they do is sit in meetings is beyond me. Your pal, Barry. Because Barry spent his days just being Al's literary agent. Hey Alice, shark circling. They wanted to turn what happened to Al into a movie and or a TV show or get this, a fucking video game. The worst. Also, I told them to fuck off. Also, in case you hear about this from someone else, a true crime writer named Tammy Booker is working on a book about Al. I hunted down her publisher and told them we'll sue. Don't worry, I've got you covered. Your pal, Barry. Hey Alice, everything good with you back home? Just checking in. Tried to call but couldn't reach you. You probably are just deep in your creative process. I know how you artists get when you're in the middle of your projects. Everything disappears. If you call back and can't reach me, I'm doing whatever it is an executive producer is supposed to do. Still a mystery to me. Oh, and if you want me to help with anything business related to your exhibition, just say the word. Your pal, Barry. I appreciate that he ends all of his emails. Does he end all of his emails to everyone with your pal, Barry?
For months after Ellen died, I didn't leave the apartment. I was flattened by the confusion, the shock, the guilt, fear.
Because she lost like 2 weeks.
I could barely get out of bed.
And had no idea what happened during those 2 weeks.
Barry Wheeler started visiting. He even cooked me meals.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the guy when I first met him, but he's a better friend than I gave him credit for.
Good guy Barry.
He still checks in. Even after he moved out west.
Alice's work had consumed the apartment. Her whole life.
It's like a negative image of Mr. Scratch. The darker, the better. I feel like that is the direction to storyline.
I needed to get inside the manuscript.
That's where I came from. That's the bathroom.
Alice had turned the bathroom into a dark room.
Ooh, this is neat. If we stay here long enough, will we see these photos develop?
One morning, I saw a deer soar past my bedroom window.
That would be an odd sight in the city.
It was a balloon of some cartoon animal.
Okay, that makes more
I looked down at the
sense.
street below, and I saw a little girl crying. Like losing that balloon had just ended her whole world. It was the perfect image of the horror of caring. And that's when I got myself out of bed. And I picked up my camera.
Nothing like the depression of others to inspire you to create art. Though I suppose that does beat the depression of yourself that inspires you to create art. I've written a couple of short stories that I've read for this channel even, based on said depression.
There was something in the dark. Something I needed to see, to show. The more shadows I photographed and filmed, the more I felt like I was on the verge of a breakthrough. I submerged myself in it. I only went out at night. My search became obsessive, but I still had no idea what I was looking for.
She was in the dark.
There's a world hidden behind ours. A dark tide ebbing and flowing against reality. Faces in the shadows. Fear of the dark is really just fear of what could be, that vast, paralyzing ocean. But photography can freeze reality in a snapshot. Put a cage around the infinite and capture it.
Are you saying we need an Alice Wake video game where she uses a camera instead of a flashlight? We've been here before. The writer's room. Last time we found ourselves dead, and that's when Mr. Scratch escaped, except Mr. Scratch isn't here right now. Is this where we'll find a copy of the book we wrote? The Return. Or Initiation.
The full manuscript of a novel. Return. A horror story about the dark presence escaping from the dark place, taking over Bright Falls. I couldn't remember writing it. I had not written it. I would never write this. I knew who had. Scratch. A monster with my face. If this story came true, Scratch would get out, people would die. Destroying the manuscript, it wouldn't stop it from happening. I would have to fix it, edit it. I could not change the genre of the story. I'd have to work within the constraints set by Scratch. I needed someone in the story to fight the darkness. Saga Anderson. I kept seeing her in my visions.
Oh.
She was already in Bright Falls, already involved, but she was not in Return. Not yet. I'd write her in. Try to stop Scratch within the limits of the horror story.
Which is why we found edited pages
I had not reached the end.
earlier on in the story. Like, earlier on when we found the manuscript pages had sections that were cut out. With things that were penciled into the sidelines. Like, that's why those
Stop me before I could finish
those
my edits
pages in
to
the manuscripts were edited. Because the things that Alan Wake was doing in the future
of my
were
edits was
affecting the
already
past.
Terrible
But then
things
that's-
would happen if the manuscript came true. Scratch was there, at Parliament Tower, undoing my work. He could use the story to escape. He could go after Alice.
But that's kind of how, like, Alan created a weapon to fight against the dark place. Is he? I really need to replay Alan Wake 1 again, because I don't remember if it was Alan that created the light switch. I'm pretty sure it was Alan that created the light switch. Essentially modifying his own origin story, so to speak. That is a lot of... Goal is to write. I should probably take that into account. With my own writing career.
Zane had said we worked on Return together. That was a lie. Scratch wrote Return. I would pay Zane another visit. He had guided me to 2 murder sites. I needed a new one to get back to Parliament Tower. A new draft of Initiation.
Alan, your late show is falling apart.
It was locked from the other side.
It was locked from the other side. All right, Mr. Door, what have you to say for yourself? Do you have any answers? We don't look so good. We've looked better. Are we on the air? TV screens seem to be falling apart.
I don't have time for this, so let's get it over with. Tell me, was this all fake? A show?
No,
Ah,
not otherwise, Mr.
The show was a show.
It was to indulge you, but we can stop pretending now.
Masks come off.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I don't even think you know who's under your mask, but you know how to make things difficult for yourself. All these rules, endless, convoluted loops you insist on going through.
Yeah, just be like,
You are so lucky, you know.
what's the main character, Futurama? Fry? It's been a while.
People, myself, your wife.
Alice. I need to get to her. She's in danger.
She is. Because of you. And so is someone important to me, someone you pulled into this. You keep opening doors, peeking in, reaching through to get what you want, and that puts you in my path.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who is Mr. Door, then? And how is the sheriff important to him?
This has gone on long enough. This and our night springs. It was a nice distraction.
It's time someone gave me a straight answer here.
That would be nice.
Next time we meet, the circumstances will be very different. And you would do well to return the favor by playing your part.
That's not a straight answer.
Hey, Mr. Wake.
That sounded like a threat.
Whatever you say. Door, Zane, the masks were finally coming off. Was it a sign I was closer to escaping? I had no time to waste.
But anyway, there's an episode where, like, he has to edit a book to get the villain to leave, to get rid of this villain, because whatever is written in the book comes true. And he just writes the villain, like, he just writes that the villain just leaves for some reason. Like, it doesn't have to be good writing. And then Mr. Scratch disappeared forever and no one saw him again. It doesn't need to be a good book, Alan. It could be a bad book. This isn't a book that you're trying to publish. Oh, hold on. There are shadows in here. I was not expecting shadows in the studio. But I probably should have, considering that this was probably our last meeting in the studio. Old Gods of Asgard.
Alan, wake.
Hello.
Alan, wake. Wake.
Are you... Are you really there? Are the shadows really there? It didn't seem to interact with the flashlight or with Alan. Like, unless there's a version of this reality. It's Ati. Hello?
Hey, Tom. Here is the light at the end of the tunnel.
Jumalauta, that held you close, Tom. Mutta on vaan set the granny in the snow. When the panic is biggest, the help is also near.
Dor didn't seem happy.
Dor didn't seem happy to see me this time.
Fearing the master is the root of wisdom. But don't let the game get you down. He's playing his role. Maybe put him in your films, Tom. Like you have put me.
Tom.
Sehän olisi.
That's why he keeps calling you Tom. Because he thinks you are Thomas Zane. Because you look like him.
What films?
I'm a fan of your masterworks. There is Tom the Poet, my favorite, and Yöten Yö is the most famous one, of course. And is it true what I hear?
So I horribly mistranslated a word that,
Is there a bottom to this rumor?
Is there a bottom to the rumor? I was trying to figure out what the word perkele means. He says that a lot. I, for some reason, assumed it meant friend. That is incorrect. That is vastly incorrect. It is practically the opposite. The actual word is apparently a Finnish swear, which roughly translates to either devil or, like, evil entity, kind of used in the same way an American might use the phrase goddamn. Like, do you think there is a dog buried in this? Perkele. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go.
I need to get back to my apartment. Can you help me?
Well, plan is half done. You asked me to make sure you won't forget mikä se valokuva oli? The light pictures. The photos you artist wife took. They are waiting in the shoebox in the basement. What you leave behind...
So when I was going through the basement and I saw Alice's photos listed on the map, I couldn't find them. Because I wasn't supposed to find them. They weren't actually there yet. Which is kind of odd that the label would appear on the map for an item that isn't actually there until a later chapter. Where are we? We need to go here. So that means that way. Are we going to need to swap out some lights? How do I get down there? Because that leads to the street. Let's try that again. So this is an actual changed version of the room. Ah, there we go.
I would find Alice's photos in a shoebox.
Okay, can you please raise your flashlight? Like, yeah, it doesn't seem to be moving due to your presence. Photo of the clicker, photo of the empty hand.
A bullet of light to push the darkness away.
These were Alice's photos. I recognized the style. One showed the clicker sinking into darkness. The other showed a light in the shape of a bullet. They were important, even if I didn't know what to do with them yet.
Are you going to react? Are... Are any of you going to react? This lack of interaction is throwing me off. It's like the gameplay rules suddenly decided to stop functioning. Also, somehow I have way too many charges of light, and it feels as though the whole light puzzle mechanic has more or less disappeared. Like it has not developed over the course of the game. Which I'm fine with, because then we'd be spending time just doing light puzzles. End of part. That's Ati's Yoto. Yo. I forgot how he pronounced it.
I just want to sleep, please. Please sleep. I'm so tired. I just want to go home. I've written so much. I write. There's nothing left. It's all gone. I don't know how to write. All the words are gone. There's no more words. Where did they go? Did I eat the words? I recognize these words. Where are the words moving? Oh, this is familiar. Oh, this is familiar. I've been here before. Have I said this before? I've read this somewhere. Where am I? Who am I? Alan Wake. Alan Wake? That's a strange...
If I... So I want to be a writer. But if I did nothing but write for 13 years...
Ram these words down your throat. Make you choke on these words. I know the words. Secret words. You can't take the words. I eat the words. These are my words. Stop using the words. The words. Cult of the word. This isn't your story. It never was your story. The story is a monster. The story will eat you alive. The darkness is coming. The darkness inside. This is my story. You're in my story. Get out of my story. You are a character in my story. You can't stop the story. This story will go on forever. There's no escape. You will never escape. You won't drown here. You're stuck in a loop. You don't have a clue. You're lost. You lost the plot. I'll show you.
Anyway, I probably would go insane too. Alright, there's the janitor bucket. Let us save our game. Alright, so let us carry on as Alan. We are looking for Thomas Zane once again, because now we realize he has been working with Mr. Scratch.
Tower, I needed to find a murder site. Zane would know where to find one.
Oh, back to the hotel again. What was the room he was staying in? Was it 665? Right. Hold on.
Inside this messy maze of blood trails I was chasing the cult through, I ran into the filmmaker, Thomas Zane. an esoteric bohemian with a hard-on for acts of cruelty performed in the name of occult nonsense. A director wants to control every aspect of the world in their films. Is the cult leader any different? Was Zane just another alias for Scratch? There was a rumor that Wake and Zane had been working on something together. I was going to get the truth out of Zane, with whatever means necessary.
I would say, like, the best director comes in with a vision of what they want to create, but ultimately realizes that final product is going to be a result of collaboration. Like, I remember reading about Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock was an authoritarian filmmaker, based on what I've read. Like, he would be like, he would tell the actor, you need to walk into the room, take 3 steps over to this chair, look to your left, and then slowly sit down. Like, it was less about collaborating to create a performance, asking the actor to kind of consider their character, consider their role. There. Don't mind me. I hope I can just go through the front door now.
Zane's room, 665, was upstairs. The elevator would take me there.
Exit elevator. Or like there's the famous story of The Shining, how Stanley Kubrick essentially harassed, bullied, I forget the name of the actress, Sheila, the actress that played as the wife, over the course of over 100 takes of the exact same shot, until what he got was an extremely tired and exhausted actress doing her best. But, like, is that collaboration? And, like, are you, when you're hiring, like, an artist to join you into a project, you're asking not just for them to just be there on the camera, you're also asking for them to have their own influence on the picture itself. And if you can't do that, then you probably shouldn't be working with others. Or you should be insanely talented by your own. And for most people, that's not going to be the case. Not every one of us can be a Stanley Kubrick or an Alfred Hitchcock.
Something told me Zane wouldn't be happy to see me this time.
I'm in control now.
I can tell.
The second you try anything, I will shoot you in the head. Scratch wrote Return, not me. You're a fucking liar.
You'd given up. You stopped writing. You said it was too dangerous, that we didn't deserve to get out.
Oh.
Then
he actually did stop writing.
He promised to write. To get me the hell out.
And then his alternate self.
He was magnificent. A visionary. I mean, it was art. finished. It took return and left me behind.
It's still here.
That is an
And so
amazing
is
shot,
he.
by the way. Both of these are amazing shots.
But you can still catch him before he gets out, before he gets to your wife. When you get to him, don't hesitate. Kill the bastard for what he did to us. There's a murder site in my cinema where my film Nightless Night is playing.
Nightless night. So dark. Ooh.
I told you not to try anything.
Well, Mr. Zane.
Oh, mercy. I'm missing.
I had to find the movie theater Poet Cinema. The next murder site was there. Zane created the film in tandem with Return to escape the dark place.
And cut. Oh. Now that is drama.
What the fuck? I had a million questions about Zane, but I had more pressing concerns.
Also, Zane is dead. Was I meant to see that before I shot him? Shall we go save our game in the office lobby office while we're here? I mean, might as well. And then off to the next murder site, which will, in theory, change the shape of the city again. And actually, once it, like, this nightmare scenario reminds me a lot of Address Unknown, the TV show that was depicted in Max Payne 2. Because it's like the main character of Address Unknown is chasing his double. What was his double's name? Something John Mirror. John Mira. He was chasing his double, John Mira. John Mira had killed his girlfriend, and he had followed John into Noir York City. And he's following John by the murders that John leaves behind. And every time somebody dies, the shape of the city changes again. And I feel like there's there's definitely a little bit of that in the construction of Alan's Noir York City.
I could see the searchlight beams of the movie theater on the far
Ooh.
side of the plaza.
I see that too. But you know what? We haven't done in a very long time. It's been so long. Years even. Let's look at the map. I'm just kidding. We're gonna save our game. Did we miss that? Damn it, Trebek. Hello, shadows. Don't mind me. It's just your favorite officer. Author, not officer. I'm not talking about a police officer while having a strong lisp. Alan Wake, just making his way to the cinema. I'm going to watch Nightless Night. Or is it Nightly Night? Something about night and how night it is. Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ. Okay. We're almost there. We'll probably have to go through the car wash for some reason. Also, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This is way more stealth than... Or the option for stealth. The fact that it exists is a surprise. I don't know if Saga is going to have the option for stealth. Like, I feel as though the shadows enable Alan to have the option for stealth. Yep, we have to go through the car wash because the road is blocked. We're a little bit crowded over here. We might have to thin out the crowd. Are you, Yeah. Excuse me, sir. I should probably grab another trauma pack. Let's use one of these.
The door wouldn't open.
Nightless Night, a Thomas Zane film. Oh, hold on. Ah. How do we... There we go.
This was the moment to destroy it.
Wait, I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. And now I can safely enter this space. Ah! It's the sheriff.
Hey, Alan. It's good to see another sane face.
Not sure how sane I'm feeling.
You should be more careful.
Be careful out there, Tim. If you see me, make sure it's really me. Not some psycho wearing my face.
Sounds like you've been having a rough go. I've been there. The missing time. The aliens.
Missing time?
Missing time?
It's the same thing I've been saying. The dreams. Sometimes I wake up in a completely different place, missing entire days. I have no idea what happened, but I'm trying to find out. Things always get better if you just keep moving forward, Alan.
Aliens?
Wait. What's this about aliens?
Oh, I was just convinced that everything going on with me was because of aliens. Abduction,
Aliens.
in my head, that kind of thing. Now I know it's been Door all along. I haven't ruled out him being an alien, though.
All right, so we got an echo outside, and then maybe a word of power outside as well. UFOs, polyhedrons, I see them in my dreams. Geometry, pure mathematical shapes contain energy. A vessel, a weapon, an object of great power? Or are you crazy and have dreams of RPG dice? I keep having dreams of 20-sided objects covered in numbers. Propagators of chance. Hello. Don't mind me. All right. Oh, hold on, what is this? Big arrow pointing at something. Must be important. I don't think I can go in that direction. Another arrow. Oh, hello. Let's back up a little bit. Okay, that's where I need to go. I can see the word of power. Okay, thank you, gameplay, for returning so I can stop questioning whether these shadows are real. Ah, damn it. Get up.
You don't have a clue.
Okay, that was extra. Oh, those are just lights. That's what I'm looking for. Word of aid. Okay, I see the thing you're supposed to look at. But what about the thing you're supposed to look through? There we go.
They say God made us in his image. Just like us, he is an uncaring, cruel son of a bitch. Having made it in heaven, he doesn't want us there, dirtying up all that nice white upholstery. And he doesn't want to reach down to help us. He gets his kicks just binge watching us struggling, hurting, killing, dying, screwing it up again and again. Lazily stirring it up when things threaten to get too placid. This city is only here to satisfy his sick, voyeuristic pleasure.
Although I suppose in this case, God is the writer. Creating the actions for the sake of the drama. Stirring things up when things start to seem like they're getting a bit too safe for the main character. That's when a love interest dies. Hello, don't mind me.
The theater appeared to be closed. Maybe the ticket could still get me in.
Please enjoy the film, sir.
The cinema lobby was a gateway to other realities on the silver screen. I could set a scene here.
But I don't have any plot threads.
One that would get me ahead of Scratch.
Is that a save game? Yes, it is.
You run from an idea, from a thought, from a story that lives in your head. You can't escape your fears. You carry your monsters with you. The devil on your back, it's in you. You're running right back to it. A loop. I have to stop. Stop running. Stop writing. I won't write another word. It's too dangerous. Only horror comes out of it. People get hurt. I'm let the currents of this
That's why he should have tried writing a different genre. Erotic romance with vampires.
Did I stop writing at some point? I
Clearly.
can't stop. There's too much at stake.
Yeah, batteries. Ah, a health pack. Yeah, I've got him. I'll use one. Let's move over 2 of these. Let's move this one over too. We're getting a little bit more bang out of the flash. Move that down there. Move that over there. And then we need regular flares. All right. Let's explore for a little bit at least. We'll be back to the lobby in no time. Let's go down to the lobby. Let's go down to the lobby. Let's go down to the lobby and have ourselves a snack. Ah, map. More Not Sereno's Pizzeria. Honestly, though, the pizza doesn't look particularly good. It looks pretty average pizza. Now I have too many health packs. Now I have too many flares. Oh, look, they got final Casey, cold Casey, closed Casey. They got all the hits. All right, let's move that. And that. And because we did one thing, where is the source of the echo? Where is the thing? Oh, or maybe it's from upstairs. There it is. Final Casey, worst bullets, bodies, and bourbon. There are no happy endings. Hard-boiled and hungover. Hard Casey. I wish there was a harder Casey. Just hard Casey and harder Casey. No one gets away with murder.
I felt like I'd been on this case looking for the cult of the word for a lifetime or more. The only case I'd ever been on. They would surface from the dark with their depraved acts of violence and fade back into the night, leaving behind bloody crime scenes and clues heavy with obscure meanings that led nowhere. Arriving at the cinema, I felt a monumental, terrifying revelation trembling before me, ready to open its jaws and swallow me whole.
This place had significance to the cult. There was something to use there. I was missing something.
Okay, so we can't go in that direction. Ladies. They really didn't take care of this bathroom. Gotta say. Is this still considered part of the lobby, though? Yeah, bullets. Yeah, and then there's this case. Ah, jeez. All right. I think I'm going to stop here for the night. We've got our first plot point we could use at the theater. We'll try that out tomorrow. For now, though, got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.